So I'm Shehnaaz Moosa, the CEO of the Climate and Development Knowledge Network and a director at the not-for-profit called SouthSouthNorth. The COP27 Africa Regional Resilience Hub is one of 4 regional hubs of the COP27 Resilience Hub. And the intention is that it provides a very dynamic and diverse space, both at COP27 and between the UNFCCC COPs, to advance inclusion and ambitious climate action. The Resilience Hub itself is an inclusively built virtual and physical space that aims to mobilize greater levels of ambition and action on building resilience to climate change. Furthermore, the regional, as I said earlier, there were 4 regional resilience hubs. So the regional resilience hubs aim to ensure the voices and perspectives of traditionally underrepresented communities are heard and amplified to a global audience. They will illuminate and communicate regional priorities, actions, solutions, and challenges. The Africa Regional Resilience Hub is led by the Climate and Development Knowledge Network, and it's hosted by SouthSouthNorth. The inaugural event of this year's African Regional Hub was held at Africa Climate Week, which was the end of last month in Libreville, Gabon, and it was physical and online. The CDKN hosted event focused on strategies for unlocking finance for locally led climate action. What came out of this event is that speakers called for governments and development finance institutions to be better placed to respond to communities' priorities for climate resilience. A second Africa Hub event, also at Africa Climate Week, which was looking to COP27 from the regional level, critical asks and solutions from the ground, showcased how communities are advancing locally led adaptation through governance and finance models. This event, which is today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, is the third in a series of events, which will then lead up to COP27. There's 16 sessions on the priority themes of finance, investment, food and agriculture, resilient infrastructure, water and natural ecosystems, and cities and urbanization. Cross-cutting themes include gender and social inclusion and engaging and amplifying local voices. So you will be hearing, there'll be 16 sessions, and we're hoping for very active participation in these. Each of these sessions will have rapporteurs drawing out what's coming out of it. We'll then put all that together, and it will go to, these messages will then feed into the Resilience Hub at COP. My colleague will, after me, I just want to look at the map quickly, will talk you through how the Resilience Hub and the regional hubs all feed into COP. And then I've got apologies from Dr. Youba Sokona, who was going to join us. He's an old friend of CDKN and always very supportive of the work we do. But his flight to New York Climate Week was shifted to the morning. So he had to miss the session, but he wishes us all well, and you, the audiences, and encourages you to actively participate so that the voices can feed into the COP global process. So I'm just looking at the map, and there's 47 participants, but it's looking like only about 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 have answered. So please, I encourage you to include where you are. There's somebody from Australia, welcome. Somebody from, is it Nepal? And then from, it looks like Spain and then Egypt. Egypt is where the next COP, where COP will be held in November. So yes, it's actually very nice to see the spread of attendees. And with that, I'll hand over to my colleague. Are you there, Ameil? Because I can't see, I'm just seeing a map.
I'm here, Shehnaaz.
Yes, so over to you, Ameil.
Thanks so much, Shehnaaz, and I think you've laid the groundwork around what the purpose and intention and vision of the Resilience Hub is. So I won't necessarily repeat the vision of the Resilience Hub or the regional hubs, but rather just to give everyone a bit of background with where the Resilience Hub and the regional hubs were last year and the iteration that we've taken this year, and how we then plan for the regionally contextualized solutions, priorities, etc., to be meaningfully amplified at a global stage for the Resilience Hub itself. So last year was the inaugural year of the Resilience Hub. For those of you engaged, you may recall that we had a fully virtual regional hub that took place during COP27 itself. And whilst this created an incredible space for rich regional discussion and dialogue, because it happened to follow the sun program, apologies, somebody's unmuted. If you could just mute yourself, that'd be great, thank you. So because we had regional hub events taking place with this follow the sun approach, which meant that they were appropriate for the time zones for the respective regions, but they took place out of the business hours of the Resilience Hub, there was clearly a lot of value in having regional discussions, but we wanted there to be more time to integrate this into the broader Resilience Hub program. And so this year we've taken a different iteration, and so the regional hubs are running prior to COP, but it's important to note here that the Regional Resilience Hub should not be seen as separate from the Resilience Hub, but rather as a crucial component for ensuring that we are authentically meeting our objectives for creating a dynamic, inclusive, and diverse space for geographies, scales, stakeholders, etc., as the home of race to resilience in catalyzing particularly non-state actors' action for adaptation and resilience. So how are we actually going to meaningfully amplify into the COP27 space, given that there are 4 regional hubs and what will be over 40 virtual sessions taking place before COP27 for South Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean, Asia Pacific, and of course, Africa. So as Shehnaaz has mentioned, all of these sessions will be harvesting and drawing on key messages that emerge out of this. These key messages, along with the massive plethora of organizations that are participating in these sessions, will be integrated into the Resilience Hub main program. These are the hybrid events that take place in the Blue Zone and that all of you can access through the dedicated Resilience Hub virtual platform. That platform will be launched this week and you can sign up for it. There you'll also be able to access all the recorded sessions from the respective regional hubs, but we hope that you'll also see how we have worked to integrate not just the key messages, but the voices of lesser heard and underrepresented constituencies with a particular focus on grassroots and community level voices that unfortunately are not always well represented in these global platforms. So that being one of the key ways in drawing upon key messages, speakers and organizations to integrate across the main Resilience Hub program taking place in the Blue Zone, these hybrid events. The second way is to have full integration onto the virtual platform itself. So what you'll see is on this platform, there will be a virtual booth dedicated per regional hub. This will be the central home by which to access not just the session recordings, but all of the amazing content that is coming out of the regional hubs, including key messages, but also a range of other bespoke content. I believe Latin America and Caribbean is creating an e-magazine to consolidate everything. This will be a space for people virtually, as well as in the Blue Zone, to engage with all of this incredible content. And then lastly, there are a number, of anchoring hybrid events in the Blue Zone per regional hub, which will also then create a dynamic space for discussion of these key messages in a very targeted way per region. So I'll leave it there for now. But not to say that we won't be also proliferating all of what is emerging out of the regional hubs through what we call the Resilience Hub broader communications architecture as well. So please do engage, hashtag us, engage with the virtual platform, and we invite you to the Resilience Hub at COP27 to also engage with the hybrid events there. I'll leave those remarks there, and Michelle, over to you.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I think it is morning for most of us on the continent, so good morning. I'm calling in from Cape Town, from the SouthSouthNorth offices in South Africa. I just want to say a very, very warm welcome to the to all of you for joining and being here. I also want to let you know, please feel free to explore all the sessions. When you go onto the lobby, you'll be able to see all the sessions and there's a little bit of information around them, so you'll know which ones you want to be joining. I'm just going to go through a little bit of housekeeping and logistical notes now, and then I'll stop. I'll be very brief so we can get started with the sessions. So first, we do recommend that you use the Zoom app and not Zoom for web, because you'll have more functionality during the sessions, including being able to see the links in the chat. Sometimes if you use the web functionality, you aren't able to use the links. Please note that during the sessions, you won't be able to unmute yourself. We've done an automatic mute for everybody, just to reduce the disturbance in the sessions. If you do want to make an intervention, or if there is time for questions, please do raise your Zoom hand, the Zoom hand icon, and then we will unmute you so you're able to speak. We also, unfortunately, this is an online event, so we don't have the joy of meeting each other in people. So we do encourage you to please populate your profile with a photo and with some information about yourself so we can connect as much as possible. This you'll be able to do in the Zoom settings. We're also going to be feeding into the global stocktake process. You'll see in the lobby and during the sessions, there'll be a link to a Padlet page with some questions. So while you wait for sessions to ask or to start or in between sessions, please do use this Padlet. You'll see Lisa has just put that on the chat box. And answer the questions. We're going to be submitting this to the global stocktake to provide more insights on the process from people on the ground. Then I just want to let you know, I'll ask everyone in the Africa Hub team to just quickly put their cameras on. You'll see that we'll try and put CDKN in brackets after our names. Please do feel free to ask us any questions. If you've got any technical or logistical issues, please also do put these in the lobby chat box. You'll see if everyone can give a wave. There we go. Brilliant. I also want to ask people to generally, please do keep if you do have enough bandwidth, please do keep your video on so we can connect as much as possible. And I want to ask everybody now to please, if you can, to put your video on now so that we can take a group photo. Thank you. If you have got, I know sometimes we struggle with data and connectivity, but if you are able to, then we can take a photo. Okay, thank you. I see they're all coming on. It's so wonderful to see all your faces. Thank you. I also want to, while we're waiting for people, okay, shall we start? Let's give a big smile and a wave. Lisa.
First page.
Okay.
I just need the second page. I've got a few more cameras need to come on.
Okay, Lisa's done the first page. She's going through to the second page. She's just waiting for a few more cameras to come on. There we go. Okay. Lisa, will you let me know when you're
Okay, a
done?
few more cameras, it's okay. We'll that's great.
Okay. So we've done photos.
We've done it.
Thank you very much. I also want to encourage you please at the end of today to and also during the session to please put your comments down. Please put improvements. We really want to improve as we progress through the session. So if you have any comments for us, how we can make the sessions better, how we can make your experience better, please do let us know. And I think with that, I think I'm going to hand back. I think I've gone through all my notes. Oh, sorry, the last notes. There's going to be a Mentimeter link now quickly, that's going to be in the chat. I'm going to put a link here, and one of my colleagues will also put the link in. So I can ask you to please go to this Mentimeter. We just have 3 questions that we'd like to ask you before we start with our sessions. Yes. Okay. Yes. Lesejo will be sharing the screen, and while we you'll see that the first question is there, which is, what are the challenges facing our continent in the race to resilience? I encourage everyone to please put, while we wait for the screen to share, to please put your answers down. I also want to introduce Sonia. Sonia, if you could give us a little wave. Sonia is going to be doing graphic harvesting throughout the 4 days of the Africa Resilience Hub. And these are going to be one of the ways in which the messages from this event, from this conference, are going to go through to COP. There we go. There we go. Okay, so some of the questions that we do, some of the answers is a lack and lag of climate flows reaching the ground level, limited resources for long-term resilience planning, poverty, which I think is a very crucial one. We've got a disconnect between actors of the food system. Thank you so much for all your questions. All your answers. Limited financing reaching the hands of communities. Okay. I'm going to go through, Zizipo, can you please go through to the next question that we have? Okay, here we go. Thank you. What are the strengths to be found within Africa to meet the challenge? On our continent, we have many resilient, strong communities. What are some of the strengths that we have on the continent? There's amazing youth and women to meet the challenge of facing climate impact. Innovative spirit, I love that. Yes, that's very true. Okay, I'm going to wait. Strong frontline communities and women leaders, yes. Indigenous innovation, these are great. Thank you, please keep them coming. Yes, adaptation is already happening and needed support to scale up. Action orientated, yes. This is great, thank you very much. Can we go through to the next question, and then I'm going to hand back to Shehnaaz so we can get started with the sessions. So what are your expectations from this conference? Please do put them down, and also please put them down in the chats of the lobby so we can see how best as possible to match your expectations. While we wait for people to answer, Shehnaaz, I'm going to hand over to you so we can officially start the sessions.
Yes, thank you, Michelle, and thank you for laying out so clearly what will be happening and what's expected. And thank you to all of you for answering on the Menti. And it's quite interesting to see the sorts of responses that are coming out. And so with that, I'd like to officially open the conference, the sessions, and hope you all engage actively and that your expectations are met.